Hey, welcome to Think Thursday from the Alcohol Minimalist Podcast. Think Thursday is all about your beautiful, brilliant human brain. We're talking neuroscience. We're talking behavior change. We are talking about your mindset. Are you ready to get started? Let's go. Hello and welcome back to Think Thursday from the Alcohol Minimalist. I'm Molly, and this week we are actually revisiting one of the earliest episodes of Think Thursday, and it's all about the privilege of self-improvement and why it's awesome to be human. I know it may seem like kind of an odd conversation to have, especially right now. It's the end of the year. We're heading into the holidays. And why in the world do we need to think about self-improvement right now? Because we've got a lot of other stuff going on, and isn't it better just to wait until January, right? I really want to start breaking that habit, that pattern, that mindset of do-overs and resets and starting anew. I want us to always be working towards self-improvement and understand why it really is the privilege of being human. And I hope that this episode inspires you to look at things a little bit differently as you head into the holiday season, the end of the year, and look for opportunities to do things just a little bit differently so that you're making steps and taking new action towards your long-term goals, towards a newer, better, better, more evolved version of you. So I hope you enjoy this revisit episode, and I will see you on Monday. Well, hello and welcome back to Think Thursday from Alcohol Minimalist. I'm your host, Molly Watts, and as a reminder, these Think Thursday episodes are all about neuroscience, brain health, and your mindset. I love these episodes. I love talking about all of this as it relates to not only your relationship with alcohol, but really your life. And that's why I wanted to start doing them. It's such an important thing to me to understand my brain, to help you understand your brain and how your beautiful, brilliant human brain is not only the thing that's going to help you make changes, but it's also what may be holding you back from making those changes, right? So that's why I think it's so important to do these episodes and to talk about our brains. And that's why I think Thursday is here. Today, I am talking about something that I hope will inspire you to continue to make improvements in your life, because I really look at changing your relationship with alcohol as an area of self improvement. And I've talked about that quite a bit on the podcast. This isn't a recovery show. This isn't about correcting some big problem. Now, I know many of you feel like your drinking is a problem in your life, and I get that, not minimizing it in any way. But so much of the narrative around alcohol industry is from a recovery perspective, that it makes it feel like there's something wrong with us, as opposed to, and something that's really like fundamentally different than other areas of our lives. And I don't believe that. I believe we can approach our relationship with alcohol with the very same mindset that we do other areas of our lives that we are trying to improve upon. And really, that's what this episode is about. It's about self improvement, because I truly believe that self improvement is not a burden that we have to like endure, but it is one of the greatest privileges of being human. And that's what this episode is all about. We have all felt the weight of trying to make changes, right? Whether it's cutting back on alcohol, building healthier eating habits, achieving some sort of other personal goal around your budget or your profession. Sometimes it can feel really overwhelming. But what if I told you that the very fact that you're capable of imagining a better version of yourself and creating change isn't something to dread, but to celebrate? At the heart of this conversation is something truly powerful, and that is the evolution of the human brain, and specifically the prefrontal cortex, which gives us the ability to plan, reflect, and grow. So, I want to talk about today why that is such a privilege and how embracing this mindset shift can transform the way you approach changing your behavior. Let's start by getting into the science. You've heard me talk about before how the brain is wired for habit and how we sometimes get stuck in patterns, right? But what I want to focus on today is the incredible gift of having a brain that not only is designed to help us survive those habit systems, but it's also designed to help us thrive. And the key player there is the prefrontal cortex, which is located up at the top of your brain. It's the higher, bigger part at the front, and it is often referred to as the executive center of the brain. It's what separates humans from other animals. And that's not to say that other animals don't have a prefrontal cortex. They do, but humans have evolved into have a larger, bigger prefrontal cortex. And while many other creatures will rely on instinct and reflexes to navigate their lives, humans have the ability to think about the future, to set goals, and to control impulses. Our prefrontal cortex allows us to plan for the long term. We can imagine a future that doesn't exist yet and take steps to create it. It allows us to delay gratification. Instead of always acting on impulse, we can choose actions that align with our bigger goals. It allows us to self-reflect. We can look at our own behavior, learn from it, and adjust. And this isn't just a biological quirk. It's what makes humans capable of self-improvement. Think about it. Your ability to decide, I want to drink less or I want to live a healthier life, is an evolutionary superpower. So, how did we get here? Let's take a quick look at that evolutionary process. Millions of years ago, our ancestors faced a world of immediate dangers. They were hunting for food, avoiding predators, and finding shelter. Back then, our more primitive brains dominated. And that lower part of your brain that still exists in your brain today is what focuses on basic survival. It has the fight or flight. It's focused on, sustenance, feeding yourself, and of course, reproducing too, right? It seeks pain, it seeks pain. No, it seeks pleasure. It avoids pain, and it does it in the most efficient way it can. It's the reason you crave comfort when you're stressed or why you feel a rush of adrenaline when you're in danger. That lower brain doesn't care about self-improvement at all. It cares about keeping you alive. But as humans evolved, so did our brains. And the development of the limbic system, which is responsible for our emotional center, which is why higher level mammals take care of their young, right? They don't just send them off into the world like the reptiles do, and why humans continue to evolve and crave connection. The limbic system and eventually the prefrontal cortex allowed us to go beyond just basic survival. We started to create, to innovate, and most importantly, we could imagine a future beyond our immediate needs. And this is really where the magic of self-improvement comes in. Your prefrontal cortex gives you the ability to choose how you want to live. It allows you to dream about what's possible, whether it's cutting back on or reducing alcohol in your life, building a business, becoming a better parent, running a half marathon, whatever. This choice is what sets humans apart from every other species on the planet. Now, let's talk about why self-improvement isn't something to feel burdened by. So often we look at self-improvement like it's an exhausting task. We see it as something we have to force ourselves to do. And when we don't succeed immediately, we feel like we failed. But what if we reframed that thinking? What if we started to see self improvement as a privilege? And here's why it is a privilege: because we have that ability to change. Most animals are locked into behaviors by instinct, but you can rewire your brain. You can decide to build better habits and become someone that you've never been before. We get to shape our future. Instead of living just in this present moment, we have the power to think ahead and create the life we want. And that's incredible. The fact that we can plan, set goals, and work towards them is a gift that other species don't have. Another reason that it's a privilege is because you are not at the mercy of your habits. Yes, habits are powerful, but thanks to your prefrontal cortex, you can override them. You can take control of your actions instead of being controlled by them. Think of it this way: self improvement isn't about fixing something that's broken, it's about using your incredible human advantage to consciously grow and evolve. So, how do we shift our mindset from viewing change as a burden to seeing it as a privilege? Here's a few strategies that can help. Number one, just recognize the power that you have. When you catch yourself feeling frustrated about making changes, remind yourself of your unique human ability to plan, reflect, and improve. This power is something to be grateful for. It is a rare gift of the animal kingdom. Number two, celebrate your progress. Every time you make a small improvement, no matter how tiny, you're exercising your prefrontal cortex. You're doing something that, evolutionarily speaking, is extraordinary. So celebrate those small wins as evidence that you're using your human privilege to its fullest. Number three, we've got to reframe failure. When we struggle, and you will, right? It is not a sign that you're failing at self improvement. It's just a part of the learning process. Remember, failure is feedback, and it's how humans have learned and grown throughout history. Use it to your advantage by analyzing it and adjusting your approach. Go back and listen to that Think Thursday episode about the iterative mindset. And number four, view long-term planning as your absolute superpower. Instead of dreading the idea of setting goals or making plans, see it as an expression of your evolved brain. Your ability to see beyond today is a remarkable skill that allows you to create your life on purpose. So, how does this all apply to your relationship with alcohol or any other behavior, really? Drinking is tied into habit loops for most of us that feel really hard to break. And your primitive brain, that lower brain, might push you toward drinking out of comfort, routine, or stress relief. But your prefrontal cortex is the part that can say, hey, wait a minute. I want something different. This doesn't align with my long term goals. It's your prefrontal cortex that allows you to plan ahead and make that doable drink plan, right? It allows you to reflect on your behavior. If you need to do an off-plan plan and reflect and recover, ask yourself, why did I drink more than intended? Not without judgment, right? Curiosity and compassion. Our prefrontal cortex also allows us to set goals for the future. Whether that is, reducing alcohol or eliminating it from your life, or if it has nothing to do with alcohol and something to do with everything else in your life, you get to set goals for the future. And that is an incredible privilege. When you embrace this ability, you're not burdening yourself with the weight of self improvement. You are exercising your uniquely human capacity to shape your future. As I wrap up today, I want to leave you with this thought. Self-improvement isn't something you have to do. It's something you get to do. You are one of the few creatures on earth with the ability to imagine a different future, to set goals, and to change your habits. That's not a burden. It's a privilege. So the next time you feel resistant to making a change, whether it's around drinking or anything else,
Remind yourself that you are using one of the most powerful tools evolution has given us, your prefrontal cortex. Thank you so much for tuning back in to Think Thursday. If this episode gave you a new perspective on self-improvement, why don't you share it with a friend or leave a review? And if you're ready to use, I should say, your human superpowers to create a more peaceful relationship with alcohol, then come check out Making Peace with Alcohol. Come check out Drink Less Success. I would love to connect with you. Come check out our Facebook group, The Alcohol Minimalists. We are here to support you every step of the way. Until next time, remember, you're not just changing your life, you're exercising the privilege of being human. Take care and choose peace.